carry the weight with stories that matter. Don't let them wait. Every story matters, from bases to war zones, from tearful reunions to cold nights alone. Spouses and veterans, hearts that won't quit, telling the truth about all of it.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. It's just another day in the life as a military wife, and this week's episode is an interview I did with Navy veteran Tom, who served during the Cuban Missile Crisis and later in retirement was actually in Lower Manhattan during 9/11. So I cannot wait for you to hear his story and share in his experiences. As always, I am your host, Sam Wolf, and you're listening to Life of a Military Wife. All right, Tom, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell a little bit about yourself?
Okay. My name is Thomas Fiedler. I'm a senior citizen now. All right. Well, I'm glad I'm a senior citizen. I'm getting up there in age, so I'm glad that somebody's doing something for the families that can have records of us when we go and pass away. And okay, I'm a retired vet from a long, long time ago, back in the 60s. So if I can help anybody out with information, I'll do the best that I can to my knowledge. All right.
And when did you join the military and which branch did you join?
When did I join? November. It says okay up there. I don't know what that thing is up there. I'll tell you the correct dates.
Okay.
Okay. Date of entry, November 5th, 1963.
Perfect. And you joined the Navy.
Navy, to see the world. What do I see but the sea?
True. They say you're going to see the world, but you just see a lot of water.
Yeah, a lot of water. Right.
A lot of water. I have had quite a few family members in the Navy, and that was their statement, is they saw lots of water.
Okay.
So when you joined the Navy. What
Mhm.
was the job you did in the Navy?
I was a deckhand, as they call it. Uh, I forget what they call it. Seaman apprentice, right? Seaman
Okay.
apprentice, right? Seaman. I'm
And
sorry. Go ahead.
no, that's okay. Why
I
did
have
you want to
trouble
join the military?
because all my brothers that was before me, I had five older brothers before me. They was all in service, every one of them.
What branches did they serve in?
My oldest brother was in the Navy. The next brother was in the Army. The next brother after that was in the Marines. The next brother after that was in the Army, and the next brother in the Marines, and then I joined the Navy.
So you guys had pretty much everything covered. No Air Force, but almost everything else.
Right. No, I have cousins in the Air Force.
Oh, see, then you got a full bingo card there.
Right. Yes. That's from
So
the. Go ahead, Sam.
where did you do your basic training?
Uh, Great Lakes, Illinois.
And about how long was that?
3 months.
Okay. Is there any fun stories or anything you remember from that?
Oh, yes. There was a lot of fun stories. Pushing the rifle around for an hour and a half with a pea coat, watching and guarding the garbage dump downstairs outside the ship, whatever, doing all different kinds of shifts on guard duty. Well, I guess that's part of the thing.
Oh yeah, guard duty is definitely a thing in the
Yeah.
military.
Yeah. Watching the garbage dump or anything else. Yeah, right. Yeah. Some of the commanders wasn't nice. I'll put it that way.
Well, yeah, drill sergeants have a way of being rough. There's a
Yeah,
notorious reputation with that
especially with
position.
the Jewish boys, the Jewish religion. I don't know why.
Okay. And are you Jewish?
No,
Okay.
they probably
But
thought
they
I
were
was Jewish for my name.
yeah, that's a possibility.
Okay, Well, I saw a lot of things about how they picked on him. I know. I was there. I saw it. You know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. That does happen.
And then they got rid of that the commander, the drill sergeant. We had a new one. So,
Okay. How was the new one? Did you like them better?
well, yeah, he was a lot better with the men. Yeah.
Good leadership makes a big difference.
Yes. Okay. Now, yeah, I saw
So,
that. So, when I was in there, I pulled my back, and
oh
my
no.
whole back was swollen on one side. I went into the medical thing, whatever we called it back then. Went there, and they wanted to discharge me. And I said, no, I don't want to be discharged. I'm graduating in another week. I said, what do I want to be discharged? They said, okay, no problem. So they gave me some kind of pills. I think it was pills or something to take. They said they never saw anything like this before on my back. My whole one side of my back was swollen. They wanted to, and I
Oh
said, no, I
my.
don't want to discharge. I want to graduate. So I was young then, 17. So,
Yeah. My I have a family member who got injured in basic training and they said the same thing. They're like, I've got 3 weeks. I'm not getting recycled. I'm not going home. I'm finishing. And they
hmm
finished. So,
yeah, I think even when I was out in Norfolk, I saw somebody getting, I think one of the LSD platforms come down on somebody. It was somewhere there. I remember. If I remember, that's a long time ago.
yeah.
That somebody died in boot camp. Yeah,
Oh
or
no,
was
it does happen.
wasn't
It's
in
it's
boot camp.
tragic.
Yeah, yeah. There was a mistake that happened, and somebody got hit with it and died, and that was a shame. Go ahead.
No,
What other
yeah.
questions do you need, Sam?
Okay. So after you finished basic training, did you do any advanced training or additional training?
No, no.
You just went straight on board ship or to your first duty
It's
station?
right straight on board ship.
Okay. And what ship did you serve on?
The USS Regal.
Regal. What type of ship was that?
That was a reefer ship that supplied food, ammunition, all different kind of stuff like that.
I don't
USS
know much
Regal,
about reefers.
REEL. It was the AF-58.
Okay. So how big are those ships?
That was 500 somewhat feet long.
Okay. That's
Okay.
good sized. How many,
Okay.
what was the crew size?
The crew size, I forget,
It's
200.
okay.
I really don't remember.
Okay, a couple hundred. That's a good guess. That's a great ballpark.
Yeah.
So when you got on, were there a lot of new sailors that got on it with you, or were you one of the few?
I was one of the few. Few.
Mm. So most of them were already seasoned. They'd been around the block.
They've been around the block. It was all, I say, mostly all Southerners, that was on the ship. Don't get me
Oh,
wrong.
okay.
I'm not being prejudiced or anything else. It was just all like Southerners.
Yeah.
And there was a little resentment from the people coming from the north.
No, there's the different parts of the United States have different cultures, and sometimes those cultures don't always they clash or they don't understand each other as easily. And that makes sense. Did a lot of people on your ship known each other previously because they were
Uh,
Southerners or were
no, no, I don't know. I mean, I made a lot of friends just like I do today. I make a lot of friends. So, you know,
oh yeah, you're super friendly.
so I got a lot of friends I met on the ship there. So, and we went, not too bad. I used to clean took care of the captain's gig, the boat.
Oh yeah,
I the deckhand, swab the decks, grind the floors, mess
all the
duty.
fun stuff.
Yeah.
What was your first day like? Do you
Oh,
remember?
yeah. Nervous, very nervous. You didn't know who's who, you didn't know what's what, just nervous.
Yeah,
But
that
we
makes
got through
sense.
it. Yeah, it's like when you go to a new place and you got to check everything out and make sure everything is good. your bunk, who's your neighbor,
Oh, yeah. So who was one of the first friends you made?
who was one of the first friends. That was the, what, what was his name? Wait a minute, I'm trying to think. Oh, his name. If I had the names on the ship again, I could tell you his name. His name already on the ship a long time.
Okay.
And he was,
Tell me about him. It's okay if you don't remember his name. Tell me about him.
well, he was, not, he was a black guy. I don't know if you say black or whatever.
Where was he from?
It was from, what do you call it? From up, Georgia or Alabama, one of them states.
Okay. And he'd been in the service for a while, so he kind of
Yeah, and he's been
mentored
in the
you.
service for a while. Yeah, and he helped me. Yeah, he helped me with a lot of things. Explaining things. Which not too many people was too friendly back then.
Yeah.
So,
Sometimes it's so good when you can find those kind people who are willing to help you navigate new situations and figure
mm,
this
yes.
whole new experience of the military out.
Mm-hmm. You're right. I mean, there was a lot of decent guys on our ship. I'm not saying it was all.
No, but anybody who's in the military knows that there's some guys who are just not very friendly, and then there are
Hmm.
some that are very friendly. And it's
Yep.
always wonderful when you can meet a friendly person who will help you navigate a new
Right.
company or
When I was in boot
situation.
camp, the guys helped me. A lot of guys helped me out with my, with the thing. So we had to do a, test, whatever, reading. Like I told you, I never had a high school diploma. I never went to high school. So there was a lot of things I didn't understand on these questions at all. But they went over to everything with me, memorized it with me, which was great.
That's awesome. That's so wonderful that they were helping you out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're on the ship. How long were you in dock before you guys left the left
Oh,
dock?
and Doc, I don't know. I wasn't on the ship that long, a week or two before. I don't even remember, but all of a sudden I was cleaning the gangplank with the grinder, and the ship was moving already. I didn't even know we was on our way.
You didn't know you guys were going to be underway. It's just all of a sudden
No,
you're sailing out.
no, no. I'm there cleaning. I remember cleaning the gangplank, with the
Yeah, yeah.
brush. And all of a sudden I see there's all water around me. I didn't even know that we was on our way.
Oh
It was like
no.
a shock. I said, "What's this?" Yeah.
Yeah, no turning back at that point.
No, no, I can't turn back. I can't go down the dock. No. We're already out in the water. And that was
So,
funny.
where was the first you said you guys ended up down dealing with the Bay of Pigs situation. How did you first find out where you were going and what was going on
Well,
and
we
where you
didn't
were
know
headed?
about that. We didn't know about that until we got out there. And then we went off the Camp Moorhead, North Carolina, somewhere like Camp
Okay.
Moorhead, okay, whatever the port was. And then we got our directions, and we was on a blockade outside Cuba. I don't know if that was the first trip I took, or we went. The first trip was, I don't know. Where was the first trip? England or France? Probably France
Okay, you
or
first went to
Spain. Wrote it.
France.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
did you get shore leave in France?
yeah, yeah. We got shore leave. Yeah,
Where did you go see? Where were you at?
Marseille, La Belle, France. They called it.
Oh, of course.
Rhoda, Spain.
Okay.
Mallorca. England was London. Portsmouth.
Okay. Portsmouth. All right.
Portsmouth, London, and then it was where was the other one? France, England, Spain, England. Right. Yeah. That was it. We were supposed to go to Greece, but I got out before that. Go ahead.
Okay. So, where what
I
do
was
you have any
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, do you have
You
any
talk.
memories from shore leave? Any fun things you got
Oh
to
yeah,
see?
yeah, yeah. I loved traveling. I loved meeting different people over there. A lot of guys went to the bars, got drunk, whatever they did. With the hoochie coochies, I call them.
Did
Okay.
you get to see anything, any of the sights?
Yes, I did. I did. I did. I see a girl being uh, kidnapped over there or taken into a car, and she was screaming from far away, but we didn't get
Oh,
involved because we wasn't allowed to. I remember that was in France or somewhere there. Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my.
yeah. I did. That sticks in your mind. You don't forget things,
Yeah.
and we couldn't do nothing. You know, we couldn't get involved. There was like a block away. We could see, you know what I mean? She's screaming and they're
Yeah.
taking her in a car, you know?
Oh my
So we
gosh.
stayed out of that, you know,
Did you
but we
guys
saw
report
different.
it to anyone?
Yeah, we reported that, yeah, but they was already gone. So, you know,
Oh my word.
yeah, things like that you don't forget.
No, you don't forget
No,
those.
no, you don't.
So that
So
was in Mallorca or that was in Marseille?
I think that was in Marseille, yeah, France. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
It's been a long
man.
time there, young lady, to
Oh, yeah,
remember.
I know. It's been a hot minute. It's been a hot
Yeah,
minute. Like I said, I wasn't even born when these stories happened. So,
yeah.
um, when you went to London, did you get to see anything in London?
Yeah, I saw Big Ben there. I was in a train. Yeah, I met a girl there. Her name was Linda Davenport. I still remember that. And,
Oh,
you
that's a
know,
memorable name.
I took a nice picture of us together as friends. I brought a pair of boots, you know, because they didn't have money. And I saved my money. I brought a nice pair of boots for her. And we was good friends. That's all.
Okay.
And
How
when I got home here and I got married, my wife took the picture and ripped it in half. Why?
well,
There was
some
no
women.
jealousy there. There's nothing ever happened. Just meeting people. And I don't know why she ever did that.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Pictures like that is memories. You know what I'm trying
It
to say?
is. Oh
Okay.
yeah, because we've gone through so my husband's grandfather was in World War II,
Hmm.
and by the time he got to the war was pretty much over. So they're like, "Oh, we'll ship you to the Pacific." And so most of his pictures are just him on shore leave as they were shipping him as different spots all the way to the Pacific.
Hmm.
So we've got pictures from him in England, we've got pictures of him in Cairo, we've got pictures in India, just all different
Wow.
places, and it's really
Oh,
fun
he
to
was
see all the
all over.
different.
Yep, I remember the places where I went and the things I saw. I stayed out of, once in a while we went to go eat somewhere. I stayed out of the bars. I didn't bother drinking.
Well, you were
That's how the
17,
guys
so it was
got. That's how
probably
the
good.
guys got in trouble. Okay,
Oh yeah.
drinking. Okay, drinking. Oh, I remember all the good old days. Then I met my brother down when we was in North Fork. He was in
Uh-huh.
Marine. I went to go visit him in South Carolina, North Carolina, Camp Lejeune.
Oh, that's awesome. So you got a pass and
Yeah,
you were able to go see him.
yeah. I used to hitchhike all over on the road.
Back when you could do that safely.
Yeah, you're right. Back then, yes. Okay, okay.
So so where was the first place? Did you guys go to Europe first, or was that after Cuba?
It was Europe first, then Cuba.
Okay. So when did you guys find out you were heading to Cuba?
After we came home base, I called North Fork.
Okay.
Home base, North Fork, and then we went out. We said we was going out. They didn't say where we was going. We went out, and then we found out later when we met all the other ships. Okay.
The and had you been hearing anything on the news, or did you guys even
No,
get
no, no,
news?
no. Didn't hear anything on the news. Nope. Didn't
So
hear
it wasn't
anything
until
on
you
the
were
news.
there doing it that you kind of figured out what was going on.
Well, no lights was on the ship. No nothing. We had to turn around. It was on the blockade. On the blockade of Cuba. Any Russian ships coming in, then we found out.
Okay. So what did you guys do? What happened?
Our hearts was in our throat. That's what would happen.
I bet. I can believe that. Did you
Yeah,
guys
just
have any
imagine saying
run-ins?
to yourself and in your brain you're thinking, if the nukes go off here, we're all dead goners.
Oh, heck yeah. Yep.
Okay? Dead goners. Right there outside Cuba. Boom. On a blockade.
So did you guys have any run-ins with the Russians or the Cubans?
No. We wasn't allowed in Cuba.
No, no, no. I mean, did any Cuban ships, did you guys have to stop anyone?
I don't know. Sometimes we was below decks. We wasn't up on decks too much.
Okay. That makes
Okay?
sense.
Okay? We wasn't up on deck too much. I don't know why, but we wasn't. Okay?
I can kind of understand why. Don't want a lot of targets.
Well, whatever. Up in mast, the captain, up there, up in the steering column, up on the steering wheels. Yeah, you know what I mean? They can look
Yep.
out. And there was a lot of ships there, a lot. Because I remember before we go into Cuba, I had to replenish the Enterprise and Bainbridge with food and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Replenish them out at sea.
Yeah.
Or was that over in England? Before England and Spain and France, we had to replenish them. That was all the nuclear.
Yep.
That was the
Yep.
nuclear ships back then.
Oh yeah.
The Bainbridge Long, I don't know, was it Bainbridge, Long Beach, and Enterprise,
Okay.
USS Enterprise, the first nuclear carrier.
Yep. The
We had
Enterprise
it.
is a pretty well-known ship.
Yep, that's what we had to replenish out at sea. Because we was a food ship besides other things.
Yeah. And so you would take stuff to people when they needed it. And so in the blockade, is that what you were doing, or were you actually
No,
had a
no, we was
position?
on a blockade. And the blockade, we was on a ship there. Whatever they was doing blocking, we was down below decks, I'm telling you. It's very seldom we
Okay.
went up on deck. No lights was on the ship.
I believe it.
Maybe the top, maybe they had a thing up on top. I don't even, recall that.
Oof.
But
Were you allowed to use lights below decks?
yeah, below decks, yeah, because we all sailed in.
Well, I know you wouldn't be able to see much without it.
Right. Well, I guess we had to
So,
cover up the portholes back then too.
so how long were you on the blockade?
Oh, how long? I'm trying to remember. A couple of days, whatever, a week, whatever, until everything was over. I don't remember the exact how many,
So
days.
you were there the whole time.
Right. I was there the whole time until everything. Then we went back home. Yeah.
How
I
did
don't
you
remember
feel
how many
when you
weeks.
got,
2 weeks. I was disgusted. I'm telling you the truth. I was disgusted.
but you were frustrated, and so you guys were
Right.
happy when you were called out of the, and you got to go back. You were done.
I was done. I was done.
How
Finished.
did, what was
That
the
was
mood on the ship when everybody found out you guys were going home?
uh the moon on the ship. There was a lot of people happy, and I say they was happy. Not everybody went home.
Okay.
Okay, that's right. After the Cuban crisis, right? After the Cuban crisis, then we went back, and then we went back out later. That's when I went to England. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just recalling. It's a long time to remember everything.
It is. There's a lot. So when did you decide that, you were done with the Navy, you were gonna get out?
Uh, After the Cuban crisis, I changed my attitude about the Navy. Okay, and I don't want to get into it. Okay,
That's okay.
over in England, yeah, and I told you I changed my attitude. I wasn't. I don't call it AWOL. I met a woman over there, a girl. I never made it back to the ship on time. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Okay, okay, never
You're
made it
not
back.
the only I'm sure you're
Right.
not the only sailor who ever had that happen.
Right. So, and they thought I was on drugs. I was just tired, and they thought that I was on drugs and everything else. No, I never took drugs. Oh, blah, 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 this and this and that. And they was harassing me, asking this. Okay, okay. I said, no more. I said, that's it. I'm going to make a phone call to my father and turn around. He's going to contact somebody. Okay.
Okay.
Higher up. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Our senator and everything else. So they discharged me later on, convenience to the government. I got my paperwork, honorable discharge, convenience to the government.
Hmm.
Maybe they thought I was too much trouble for them, or
So you ended up back in New Jersey and you got a job. You were doing deliveries. I remember this a little bit from what we were talking about
no.
before. Um,
Okay.
and then so 9/11 happens. What was that morning like for you before everything? Just getting up and get out
Oh,
the door.
okay. Let me tell you something. I was already out the door on
Okay.
9/11. Okay. I was in, what do you call it? Already in the Red Star Trucking. That's who I worked for at that time. I was already there, my truck, and I was already on my way into New York City.
When did you get on the island? When did you get into New York City?
About 8:30, quarter to 9.
Okay. Did you see the first plane?
No, I saw smoke coming out when I was going down the ramp. There's a ramp going in from Route 3 down to the Lincoln Tunnel.
Okay.
Big
And
ramp in
when,
Hall. And then I saw the smoke coming from the tower, and I
okay.
said, everybody, I'm looking out. What's going on? They have a fire in the World Trade Center because you can see the buildings.
Oh, yeah. They were big.
Okay. And when I got through the tunnel, I was lucky I got through the tunnel because I heard right after that they closed the tunnel.
Yes, they did. They closed them
Okay.
pretty quick.
Yep. And there I was there. A matter of fact, I got paperwork. Let me get it out where I was on
Okay.
9/11. Because I was over there way before on 9/11. I was over there a long time. I know a lot of people over there. I used to deliver food for Kraft Foods Alliance food.
Okay.
So,
So you would
besides driving the truck, I was all over, like I said.
so you would deliver the food to like grocery stores or little market, the corner markets, or
That, yeah. Plus the Wall Street, what do
okay.
you call
Oh, so you were downtown when it all
it?
happened.
No, I was on 32nd or 33rd. I'll show you the address where I was at.
Okay.
Digging it
So
out.
that would that be lower or midtown?
That would be lower. Like
Okay, lower.
Midtown is in the 40s going up. I would be lower, yeah. And I was down the hole afterwards too.
Yeah,
They
you
called it a hole. Yeah, well, the
well,
big
it
ramp
was a hole.
going down.
I remember going there in 2005 and it was still a big hole. You were
Yeah.
doing your thing, you saw the smoke coming out. Who did you ask someone? How did you first find out what had happened?
When I went to the stop and I just saw police cars coming across. Here we
Mm-hmm.
go. I was on 36th Street, 45 West 36th Street. Here. You
Oh
see that?
my, wow. Yeah. Yep. Oh my goodness.
Okay. And that's live
So
paper. That's what it was. Okay.
that's close.
Yeah. And then later on, the next day, I had to go down there, deliver
Oh
some
my
other
goodness.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said that you saw them fall?
I had a film, a military film. Somebody sent me. It's on one of my computers somewhere. I have the things. I saw tapes. No, I saw people walking past me,
Uh-huh.
forward right.
Covered
Okay.
in the dust. Yeah.
And I was down there the next day afterwards and everything else. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, I didn't get out of New York City till 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah,
And
you
I can
said you
tell you
just kept
where I
doing your
was.
deliveries.
Well, you saw that delivery, right? I got there, I parked, and I told everybody. They said, and then I heard about the plane hitting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I saw it on the guy's TV downstairs. And I said to myself, I said, hey, might just unload the truck. I can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
There's no sense, you was on lockdown.
Yeah.
So I can't go nowhere. We just might as well unload the truck. What's the sense of me sitting here doing nothing? So that's what I did. And I never saw the street like this in my life in Manhattan. Where I was parked with the truck, you could see all the way down to the Hudson River.
Because there was no traffic.
There was no traffic, no cars. Everybody, boom.
Yeah.
And police cars was passing me, seeing me working. What was I going to do? I'm not going to, do nothing. So I did that. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we got across the bridge. And the first thing I did when I got across the bridge, before that, I remember somebody with a suitcase, a well-dressed guy, he wanted to ride across the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I said, nope. I said, see that policeman over there? I said, you go talk to him and see what he
Yeah.
said. Because in my policy, my company said we're not allowed to pick up hitchhikers or whatever.
Yeah.
So he said no. So I had to go. And the first thing I went over the bridge, I stopped to see my son, called him up. When I got there to see my son.
Good. Because he's told me he was freaking out because he didn't know how to get a hold of you.
So was my wife. I still remember them days, believe me. Ah, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. We all have emotions. Emotions are fine.
So that's what happened that day. And then the next day I had to go down there. I had to go down with a rental truck. I had to go down the hole. I had to go to New York University to deliver body bags.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I was in a lot of them buildings there afterwards. And I was down there without a mask on. Port Authority, they took my license, my information.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, like I tell you, I knew a lot of people over there because I used to deliver for Kraft Foods, Alliance Foods. I used to go to upstairs and all the big places where the people were, all
Yeah.
the famous restaurants in there. And the Port Authority and all the other things. Like I
Oh
said, we
yeah,
was
it's a
all over.
community. It
Yeah,
was a community.
yeah. So, yep.
How long did you keep working on the island? How long did you work there afterwards?
Oh, until our lines closed up. I say I'm trying to remember because when they closed up and U.S. Food brought them over, I didn't like the way U.S. Foods, worked for them. So, you know, they wasn't getting paid by the hour; they was getting by the piece that you delivered of
Oh,
food.
golly, that's not great.
So we was used to getting paid by the hour.
Yeah,
So,
that would be a
and
hard
they
transition.
right. So that's when I went back into trucking outfits again.
Okay.
And it wasn't easy. You
So
had to shape all over again, do everything all over again.
I
No
bet.
problem.
So you lived in Jersey for quite a while, and after September 11th, you were dropping off the body bags. How did you do anything else to help out with the post 9/11 like clean or anything else?
After 9/11, after that, no, I went into trucking and I didn't want
Okay.
to be bothered with anything, honey. I'm sorry, but
No, you had been through a lot. That's understandable. It
uh,
People reach a limit where we have to kind of just focus on like functioning. And that was a traumatic experience for the whole nation, but to actually have been there in Lower Manhattan on that day, that I can't even imagine how that felt.
you see that tape I showed you.
Oh,
The
I've seen
tape,
the documentaries, but I was all the way in Arizona. I was completely safe on the other side of the country, and I know
yeah,
how concerned we were where we were at.
yeah,
I can only imagine what it was like where you were at.
yeah. I mean, every day, even when I went over there, if I wasn't in Manhattan, I was going to the Bronx or something. If you look over there, you see the void. You know what I meant by a void? The buildings wasn't there no more.
Oh, I know. It completely changed the skyline. I went on a trip in 2005 and I went and I was getting a keychain of the Manhattan skyline and they had ones that had the gap in the
Hmm.
skyline and I still have that on my keys to this day in that gap.
Yeah,
And I still have pictures from ground zero and seeing that.
yeah.
It was to me that was impactful and I was there 4 years later.
Okay. Well, I was down ground zero afterwards, down like a block away where you see them towers that they're last standing. I had
Yep.
to deliver, I had to get special permission to go down there and deliver this to this organization that was over there for leather or something
Oh,
they needed. All right.
yeah.
And that was like a block and a half away. I had to get permission.
Oh, yeah. It was crazy down there.
Yeah. And everybody was wearing a mask. I didn't have no mask. They didn't tell me
Oh,
I needed
my.
a mask.
Did you
And when
end
I
up
went,
having any health complications from that?
well, I don't know. I I
You
don't
seem
know.
pretty healthy.
Yeah, but going on 79 years old, yeah. Okay.
You're doing great.
It's like I don't know. It didn't bother me, you know.
Well, then I think you were blessed.
Yeah. Somebody was watching over me, I always say.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it because that was a crazy day. That was a crazy day.
Oh yeah. I never forget it. Never. Never forget that. Never forget Cuba.
No,
No.
you've had some pretty eventful days in your life.
Yeah. So I'll never forget them. And that
If
was
you could share, if you
go
could
ahead.
share any piece of advice with anybody who was thinking about getting into the military or just getting out, or just any advice in general, what would you tell? What would you tell anyone who is listening?
Okay, well, anybody would listen, I would tell them, you want to join service, fine, fine. Do the best you can in there, and get a degree in there, take up a trade in there. If they have special trades, I would do that. There's opportunities there for you to do better than what we did when we went in, you know. I
Hmm.
mean, I tried to get my GED when I was on a ship, and they kept on putting it off. That another thing I didn't bring up. So,
Advocate for yourself.
and they turn around and whether continue your education, you go to college, whatever,
Hmm.
take up a nice trade, to do, and do your best you can.
Yeah, don't quit. Just
Don't
keep
quit.
keep keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward. I only stopped after Cuban crisis, and that was it, and England because the ship I was on, I don't know. I said
No,
that's
it's
it.
not a good it's not a perfect fit for everyone. I've had family members join up and they only did one tour and then they were one and done. And that's
Yeah,
fine. Everybody's service matters. And
yeah,
we're grateful for everyone who served our country, even if it was a short time or a long time.
yeah, yeah. So that's what went on. So
Okay,
I, I
before
had
we
a
wrap up, this is
go
my
ahead,
favorite question. Do
go
you have
ahead.
any funny stories you want to share?
Yeah, funny stories. Yeah, yeah,
Give me a good one.
a good one. Sneaking, sneaking down a toll line to go to the shore to go see your girlfriend.
You snuck off shift to see your girlfriend?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't go down the
Oh,
gangplank. I
man.
went down the line to see a girl. That was over in England.
Okay.
That's funny.
Oh, that
Cause
is. That's the I mean, military guys, there's shenanigans. There are.
yeah, yeah,
Did
yeah,
anyone
yeah.
ever pull pranks on each other and on board ship, or was that not allowed?
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, 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 they did. There was not too
What kind of
many, but
pranks?
uh, they put something underneath your bed or something else like that, or they messed up your sheets and you had to do them over again. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Typical military stuff.
Yeah, typical military stuff. Yeah, but
Well, thank
I think the service back then. Don't get me wrong, because I didn't have a high school. I got picked on more than a lot of other guys that high school diplomas or whatever. Okay.
well, because you were the youngin'.
No, no, there was some there 17, but they had high school.
Oh, okay.
How come I got all the dirty duties to do? The midnight
Oh,
shift, I guard in the dumpster,
guarding the dumpster?
on the pier.
You had to guard the
When you
dumpster?
guard the dumpster, yeah, guard the dumpster on the pier, yeah. In Norfolk, yeah, with a rifle.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even know that was a duty.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Guard the dumpster, yeah. Yeah. So I said, why? And I always thought to myself, maybe because I didn't have the high school, I didn't have the knowledge back then. I was young, 17. Eh, whatever. And anybody join the military, do what you can, get a career in there, because being outside in the outside world today, it's rough.
It is.
And it's better off to having a career. You know, well, they have that now. Uh,
There's a lot of training opportunities and not enough people take advantage of them. So that's really great advice.
let me put it this way. I grew up since then. Okay. Since I was 17, 18. I grew up.
Really? You grew up since 17?
Yeah, I
It
grew
was
up.
only like
I mean, I
60
was a
years
rebel
ago.
rouser. I was a rebel rouser. All right. But as time goes on, and it's true what they say, you get, more merrill, you know what I mean?
Mature. A
Mature.
little more calm.
Yeah, a little more calm. Well, when you have five older brothers and you beating you up all the time, what do you want?
Yeah, you get a little feisty.
Yeah, so, all right.
All right.
Thank you there
Well,
so
thank
much.
you.
All right. Hope you're happy. Is there any of the information you need? Okay.
Thank you
Okay.
so much for taking the time, Thomas, to do this. I really
No problem.
appreciate it.
All right.
And I loved hearing your stories.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right.
I am so grateful that Tom took the time to share his story with us so that we could learn about what he's experienced in his life and keep those stories alive. It's so important that the memories and experiences of our service members don't get lost, as well as the spouses and those who are trying to help support the military community. So please let me know if you have a story or a family member or anyone who would be interested in sharing their experiences on the podcast. That's why I'm here. That's what this is about. And I am so grateful for these opportunities. Thank you all so much for your support and encouragement. Please like, subscribe, click, comment, It helps so much in getting these stories out for people to see and spreading it and working with the algorithms and all that crazy stuff. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your involvement. And thank you for everything that you do to help make this podcast possible. As always, let's be the good that we want to see in the world. And I am your host, Sam Wolf, and you've been listening to Life of a Military Wife.
Spouses and veterans, hearts that won't quit, telling the truth about all of it. This life we live is hard and real, giving a voice to the lives that we live. But this life we live is warm but strong, and every story deserves